got to get the knowledge. So this is part 3 of chapter 3. And we're going to carry on. And we back live on YouTube. I'm sorry if it kept cutting off on you, but we on part 3 of chapter 3. And this hopefully will be the last part of this section. So let's keep going. In the Synod of South Carolina and Georgia, many ministers preach to the Negroes separately on the Sabbath or during the week and maintain Sunday school, basically Sabbath school. Especially is this the fact along the seaboard of 2 states. The Presbytery of Georgia had 1 missionary to the Negroes, and in the county where he labors, there are 7 Sabbath schools connected to the Congregational and Baptist churches, and upward of 600 children and youth in a course of catechetical instructions. There are 3 stations for missionary preaching on the Sabbath occupied in rotation, and in addition during the winter and spring preaching on the plantations. There are colored members in all the churches in this synod, and accommodations for the Negroes in the houses of public worship. The sessions conduct the discipline of the colored members in the same manner that they do the whites. They are received into the churches under the same form and partake of the ordinance at the same time. The ministers of the newly formed Presbytery of Florida, we get into Florida now, are devoted attention to this field of labor, dispersing information and preaching as opportunity offers. Such are the principal facts touching the religious instructions of the Negroes during the 3rd period from 1820 to 1842. And in view of them as we close this period, we feel warranted in considering it a period of the revival of religion in respect to this particular duty throughout the southern states, more especially between 1829 and 1835. This revival came silently, extensively, and powerfully, affecting masters, mistresses, ministers, members of the church, and ecclesiastical bodies of all the different evangelical denominations. Some local associations of planters were formed, societies on a large scale contemplated, and one brought to perfect organization. Sermons were preached and pamphlets published. The daily press lent its aid, and manuals of instructions were prepared and printed. Nor was there any opposition of moment to the work conducted by responsible individuals identified in feelings and interests with the country. Some portions of the South were in advance of others, both in respect to the acknowledgement and performance of the great duty. But the light was gradually diffusing itself everywhere. Such was the onward course of things when the excitement in the free states of the civil condition of the Negroes manifested itself in petitions to Congress, in the circulation of inflammatory publication and other measures equally and justly obnoxious to the South, all which had disastrous influence on the success of the work we were attempting to do. The effect of the excitement was to turn off the attention of the South from the religious to the civil condition of the people in question, and from the salvation of the soul to the defense and preservation of political rights. The very foundation of society were assailed, and men went forth to the defense. A tenderness was begotten in the public mind of the whole subject, and every movement touching the improvement of the Negroes was watched with jealousy. Timid, ambitious, and factitious men, and men hostile to religion itself, and men desirous of warding off suspicion from themselves, agitated the public mind with their own borders. The result was to arrest in many places efforts happily began and successfully prosecuted for the religious instruction of the Negroes. It was considered best to disband schools and discontinue meetings at least for a season. The formation of societies and the action of ecclesiastical bodies in some degree ceased. The feeling of men being excited, those who had undertaken the religious instruction of Negroes were looked upon with suspicion, and some of them were obliged to quit the field. It was considered that a separation might be made between religious and civil condition and interests of a people, and that a minister could confine himself to the one without interfering at all with the other. This entire effect upon the slave states of the movements in the free states, considering all circumstances, was natural, but it was wrong. Wrong because it let others act as they might. We should have gone forward, done what was obviously our duty. We could have done it, for the whole arrangement of religious instructions of the Negroes as to teachers, times, places, matter, and manner was in our own power. And wrong again because admitting that the wishes of these professed friends of the Negroes were to be consummated, no better could be done for the Negroes, nor for ourselves, than to teach them their duty to God and man. The gospel certainly hurts no man and no body of men. Parts of the southern country took action was deemed necessary, if any at all, calmly and decidedly, nor were any difficulties thrown in the way of the regular course of religious instructions. A missionary in the heart of 3,000 or 4,000 Negroes during the period of excitement visited plantations during the week, met congregations on the Sabbath varying from 150 to 500 persons, yet it cannot be denied that the northern movements did sensibly affect the feeling in favor of religious instructions of the Negroes throughout the whole slave-holding states. And first and prominent cause of decline in the revival of which we speak was unquestionably those movements. And I mention the fact because the cause of decline is sometimes inquired to. From information obtained by correspondence and in other ways, there are favorable indications that a reaction has taken place within 1 or 2 years past, and that taking the country throughout more religious instructions is communicated to the Negroes now more than ever. The old friends of the cause for the most part retain their integrity and labor on, while the Lord is impressing deeply the hearts and consciousness of owners, and raising up many youth in the ministry and in the churches to carry forth the work more extensively. We almost to the end, y'all, but this is crazy. It says number 1. It says the third period is now completed. So we just read the whole third period, what was going on with religion. And with this, it is the historical sketch of religious instructions of the Negroes since the first introduction into this country to the present time. I shall add in the conclusion the following general observations. Number 1. The Negro race has existed in our country for 222 years. Lies. Just like you lied about everything else. We was here before you. Let's get that correct. In which time the gospel has been brought within the reach and been communicated to multitudes, and tens of thousands of them have been converted. It say tens of thousands of them have been converted. So you didn't have this religion. They gave you the religion. It said tens of thousands of them have been converted and have died in hope of blessed immortality. Clip this, y'all, because a lot of us sitting around here mentally enslaved, physically enslaved. I mean, to labor, that is, going to work and just having to work for barely anything. And they're saying they converted thousands of them by this time in the 1800s to Christianity. And they said thousands of them have died. And y'all know a lot of our ancestors have died. A lot of our people have died. A lot of the indigenous people of this land have died in hope of a blessed immortality. But the YT gave them that idea. It converted them and then gave them hope that somewhere in immortality that you will be blessed. You can't be blessed while you're living because I'm your owner. You can't be blessed, but I can give you this religion where you can hope to be blessed after you are gone. Hey, I'm just breaking it down. And there are, at the present time, tens of thousands connected by a credible profession to the Church of Christ. And the gospel is reaching them at a greater extent and in a greater purity and power than ever before. It's saying it's reaching them like never before. We don't even got to do nothing no more. They just They even get on each other if they don't convert. You know, people in your family, you better go to church. You trying to convert me? No thanks. Number two, while there have been few societies they limited in extent and influence formed for the special object of promoting the moral and religious instructions of the Negro, and while there have been comparatively but few missionaries exclusively devoted to them, yet they have not been altogether overlooked by their owners, nor neglected by the regular ministers of the various leading denominations of Christians, as the facts adduced in this sketch testify. Number three, yet it is a remarkable fact in the history of the Negroes in our country that their regular, systematic religious instructions has never received in the churches at any time that general attention and effort which it demanded. And the people have consequently been left both in the free and in the slave state in great numbers in moral darkness and destitution of the means of grace. Imagine someone who talking about owning people talking about we're going to be in moral darkness. What are you talking about? You claim people's souls if they're not a Christian. And you talking about we're in moral darkness. How? Don't you think that being at a red light, you know what I'm trying to say, when it's a lot of cars on the road, being in traffic, right? You think that by being in traffic, by you doing all this, that's moral? I mean, these people are crazy. They even said that, when you didn't want to be enslaved and you didn't want to obey, that you had drapetomania. Their doctors back then called this a condition, a medical condition. Oh, something wrong with them. They don't want to be controlled. Like, psychotic. The colored population of the United States in 1830 was 2,009,043 slaves. You mean people who y'all? 319,599 free, making a total of 2.3 million. By the last census in 1840, it was 2.4 enslaved. 386,000 free, for a total of 2.8 million. This aggregate of 2.8 is certainly large enough to awaken our most serious attention, whether we view this people in a religious or a civil point of light. Their actual moral and religious condition next claims our notice. And that's the end of this part of the book. I thought it was chapter 3, but it was part 1. The end of part 3 of part 1. And that's it. So now we enter the part of the book where they're having to deal with civil rights and religious rights, because we're thinking y'all trying to trick us to think that we're free by being under your control because we converted to Christian. But now a lot of our ancestors did not convert. They were fighting for civil rights, fighting just to have our land. But we were fighting these demonic minded people who thought that Christianity could make it okay for them to control us. It doesn't even make sense when you say it. But we were fighting them. So they was like, wait, now we got a civil fight and a religious fight. We thought that the religion was working, but it wasn't working. That doesn't mean that we want to wait for our soul to be free when we're dead. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Don't make no sense. So part 2 we'll read next time, the moral and religious condition of the Negroes in the United States. They're talking about our moral and religious conditions. And I don't know how long this chapter gonna be, but it's just talking about us again. It's talking about us again. Let's see how long it is. And it's not that long, so I'll probably read this other part tomorrow, and we'll carry on until we get to the end of the book. But yeah, we making our way through. If you missed any parts, you want to read along, they're all saved on YouTube. But let's go into our talking points. So dependency language. Let's just notice how in the text they describe enslaved people as spiritually dependent, right? They say, oh, you can be spiritually dependent, but physically you're still owned by your owner. And morality, we just talked about morality. They tried to say that it was, they didn't want us to feel like morally we should be free. In your opinion, chat, is morality connected to freedom, obedience, productivity, social order? Is it? Is morality connected to these things? And let's look up what morality means. Morality is principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong, or good and bad behavior. Ethical. So we're just trying to see, because they kept saying, we didn't deserve freedom, but we did deserve religion. So ethically, I don't know how they put that together. Ethically, everyone deserves to be free to do whatever the hell they want with their life and not be controlled by an immigrant who claiming now that this is their land, right? Is morality connected to obedience? Is it ethical for you to say that I must be obedient to you, and if I'm not, then I'm not obeying your God, and that you can abuse me? Is it ethical for morality to be connected to productivity? You want me to work for free and act like this okay? Come on, man. In the last chapter that we read, there was also a duty language. The author frames religious instructions almost like a divine obligation. They said it was, slavery was not wrong according to their divinity. They said this is okay. And they wanted you to learn about their religion. And they said that slavery wasn't wrong in their religion. So I'm just trying to figure out what the hell kind of religion is that. This created a psychological paradox, guys. Why? Because control is being framed as compassion. How? That's what I don't understand. You're framing, you're controlling a people's every move as you having compassion for them because you gave them this religion to break their spirit, actually. It's actually doing the opposite of what they're thinking that it's doing. They're thinking that this is getting them closer to freedom, but in actuality, behind the scenes, you guys are going into your little sanaz and all this other stuff saying, hey, how many have we converted yet? Oh, we got them. Put another church there. Oh, we got him. Is this melanated preacher ready? Put him in there. He's ready to go. We need more of them converted. And they try to frame their control as compassion. Like, hey, I'm just converting you because I think you deserve this religion. What's up, Hoovies? Hello, Dr. Sean. I hope you're doing well today. I was curious, do you have a favorite area of the mouth to work on? Or a type of procedure you enjoy doing the most? Oh, a favorite area of the mouth? I would definitely say, the mandibular arch, because you don't need indirect vision. And my most prized procedure is extractions. I just love taking out teeth that are bombed out and getting the patient out of pain. So, great question, by the way. Another question that we can reflect on, chat, is who influences modern society today? Is it schools? Is it media, influencers, politics, or religion? Out of all of those that I just named, which one influences modern society today? Schools. You know they teach pseudo-history in schools to your kids every day. They say that Christopher Columbus discovered America when Christopher Columbus was an absolute heinous scumbag. Media. Is it the media? Is it the news where you're seeing everything that Trump is doing? Oh, the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, Iran war. Oh, this war. Is it that influences modern society? Is it influencers on the internet, politics, or religion? In my opinion, one thing that really influences modern society today, I would say all of them. But with my people, it's definitely religion. And after that is schools. Because if you allow the enemy to teach you, tell you who you are, to give you a religion, you already lost the war. You already lost. They already know you lost. Because they already calculating how many of y'all been converted. They know, I guarantee you today, they still talk about these things today. We just don't know. They just got more sneaky in their talking. That's why you can have somebody like Epstein doing all of these sneaky things and everybody living their life, but meanwhile, he over here doing what they do. That's why you can have the president involved with this guy and he free as a bird. But look at all the people they claim did things in our community. Oh, they're locked up immediately. Oh, but not the people connected to Epstein. It's like, no, we can't even tell you who they are. We want you just to forget about it. We want you to forget about all the things we've done to you. You got religion now. You're religious now. Just forget about it. Dr. Sean, stop talking about it. But what they want is conditioning through repetition. The rituals that you do, the repetition of going to church every week, every day, this is repetition. This is emotional reinforcement. What are modern programming examples? What ways are we being programmed every day? Doom strolling all day, allowing fear to creep into your plans and your dreams and your desires, worshiping these celebrities, political tribalism. Oh, you're a Democrat. Oh, you're a Republican. Oh, the government. Oh, do y'all know that the government started from war? Debt culture, where you feel like you gotta just go out and spend. Oh, I gotta have my Louis bag. I gotta have my this. Consumerism. Just spending every dollar, not even thinking about land, legacy, turning these dollars into investments, making this money work for you, teaching the kids not to go into debt, not to just fall for everything. Rent slavery, wage slavery. Oh yeah, there's a such thing as rent slavery. I calculated that if your rent was maybe like $700 to $900 a month and you rent it for 20 years, you done pay about $2.6 million. So a lot of people, I'm not a millionaire. Yes, you are. You gave millions away to somebody's family. And status obsession. We have to get out of the status obsession. Stop feeling like you have to prove yourself or do something someone else is doing, or the fear of missing out. Just do you. Be authentic to yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the truth. Don't be afraid to know who you are. Do your genealogy. I don't care if no one in your family did it. You be the one to break that generational curse. That's how you do it. Genealogy is how you do it. I know it seems like that's how you do it. No, that's how you do it. Because once you see your ancestors have been here before all of these systems, before all of this emotional manipulation, the spiritual manipulation, the religious manipulation, your ancestors were here. They divided and they conquered the land, broke it up into states, renamed things, renamed that. Like the lake in Tallahassee, Tallahassee, Appalachia, Providence. See how they changed all the names to the point where you think it's Tallahassee, but it's really the Appalachia Providence. They changed a lake there and named it Lake Jackson after a criminal, an ex-president, Andrew Jackson, who also enslaved people, had plantations. Yeah. They named the lake Lake Jackson because he came there and got some straightening. Unalived a lot of people, brought war to Tallahassee. But that lake wasn't Lake Jackson. It was called Lake Okeechobee. Hold on. Y'all know I will butcher a name. So let me get the name right. It's Okeechobee? No, that's not it. Okeechobee. That sounds a lot different than Lake Jackson, right? So they'll change the names of the waters and change the names so that our people will forget. But we don't forget. The Nietzsche is not a people that forget. It might seem like we forgot, but we know who the hell we are. A lot of us might have amnesia, but a lot of us are waking up. We are the seeds of our ancestors. They already know, our baby's gonna come through. They gonna come through. They didn't forget who we are. When you just hear that name, Okihipki, I feel indigenous saying that shit. Okihipki. So that's Lake Jackson. It's called Disappearing Waters near Tallahassee. This is on the north side of Leon County, Florida, near Tallahassee. It's a shallow prairie lake about 6.2 miles in size. And the Seminole, the Mary Indians, my ancestors, call it Okihipki, Disappearing Waters. Okihipki. But when the colonizers came, they named it, this is going to be Lake Jackson. I don't give a damn what they call it. Bump that Okihipki stuff. This is Lake Jackson. That's like they got Lake Butler. These are all indigenous places. You try to erase the name by putting your name on top. It's kind of like having generic stuff like, it's like having a Save-A-Lot Coke compared to a real soda. Like, it's like, it just don't taste the same. It don't hit the same. So remember who you are, tribe. Remember who the hell you are. Okay? Most modern prisons don't have bars. They don't have bars. A lot of people think, they went to jail, they behind bars. No, most modern prisons don't have bars. They have distractions. The prison is when you're distracted from who you are. When you go to school and you learn a lot of pseudo-history, but you don't learn a lot of financial literacy. You don't learn a lot of ownership skills, life skills. It's just how to be a laborer and a Christian. Not a white Christian, but a lower level Christian in their head. So just ask yourself these questions. Have you ever stopped and asked where your beliefs originally came from? Have you ever stopped to ask, can education exist without programming? And is independent thinking becoming rare? I'm going to answer these reflection questions, and you answer them. You can put it in the chat or just think it to yourself. Have you ever stopped and asked where your beliefs originally came from? Every day I'm questioning where the hell this came from, because I've been lied to so much. I got to figure out so many sources to get me closer to the truth, to see what my ancestors really fought through, to see how they got to the state where they were just believing everything. These super religious people and not questioning anything, just dying and praying for salvation in the afterlife and just giving up in the right now life. Can education exist without programming? Education is programming, and it's all about the person who is in charge of the curriculum. What do they want you programmed to do? Because if it's somebody who is trying to elevate your spirit, get you closer to having real success and not oppression, then that type of education is going to break you from like a program. Education is supposed to make you like free to think, free to create, not box you in and say, hey, you only should know this and nothing else. So certain education, it teaches pseudo history, so you gonna get programmed. If I only teach you about my ancestors, I'm talking about a YT, and not about your ancestors. If I ban your history, if I ban all of this American Indian stuff, that's absolutely programming you. It's programming the kids. Some people are homeschooling their kids, which I think all people should homeschool, but you got to go to work. That's how the system is set up. So to the people who do, they have kids who are coming out 12 years old, becoming doctors and crazy shit because they're not programmed. If you send your kid to school and you rely on the school system's curriculum to make your child a successful millionaire, it's probably not going to happen. It'll make them a successful employee, where after the graduation is over, they're so tired and burnt out from learning all this pseudo history and all these things that don't give them any skills. The only thing they want to do is work, make money. Not invest money, not keep going, but let me get to work, make money. And is independent thinking becoming rare? I think independent thinking became rare, but now it's coming back around where we have people who are breaking the box. They not believing everything a colonizer told them. They not following these religious instructions because we see the creator of it. You see who that is? No, thank you. I don't want no parts of that. Now let's talk about the difference between spirituality and institutions. Spirituality means I know there is a creator. I know that, our creator gave us the air, the oxygen. Our creator gave us this land. Our creator gave us the fruits, the seeds, the sun. Because our skin, our melanin connects to the sun. We're solar powered. That melanin protects us. It's a defense system against the sun. So powerful, so magical. So I know that we have a creator. And there's no way our creator would ever say you meant to be in bondage. There's no way our creator would ever say we're going to put you in shackles on your own land. That's some psychotic, crackhead shit. When we think about spirituality, we have to think about how that ties to community. When you have spirituality, love flows to the community. Creativity flows to the community. Unity flows to the community. Healing flows to the community. The community grows. The community isn't oppressed. It's not always arguing and battling people who trying to tell you that you less than them. That's religion. The whole time they were talking about religion in that book, they always try to put us beneath them in every sentence. Catechism. Trying to instruct you on how to be. Faith can help people survive suffering, but institutions can also protect power, right? So if you suffer in faith, makes you feel like, oh, I'm going to hold on to the end. But these institutions, they are protecting the power. Let me debate. What you want to debate about? History becomes dangerous when people stop questioning it, guys. What you want to debate about? Religion? What is there to debate? Alright. So, let's catch up to 2026 and how we're being controlled. We got algorithm addiction, overstimulation, endless notifications, the attention economy, corporate influence. Everybody's fighting for attention because attention has become the new oil. What religion are you? I'm not no religion. That's the whole point of this. You see this? Religion instructions of the Negro. That's helping though. I'm not no religion. No religion. Spiritual, yes. Religion, no. What religion are you? If someone is trying to control your identity, guess what, guys? They influence your future. They influence your future. Alright? So we have to just raise awareness, promote change, talk about solutions, not really Muslim. I don't know much about Muslim religion. I know I'm not Muslim. I'm really no religion. No. You see religion No thanks. So the way that we can solve the issue of and reverse religious instructions to the Negroes is by reading, meditation, therapy, reflecting, journaling. When it comes to finances, ownership, entrepreneurship, investing in yourself, avoiding lifestyle inflation, physically, getting more sleep, brushing your teeth, oral health, nutrition, movement. And when it comes to spirituality, we have to talk about intentionality, gratitude, purpose, and discernment. God is the only way through. You talk about your God or my God? Are you talking about the type of God that says that slavery is right? You see what I'm saying? What type of God are you talking about? You got to be very specific here. Because I don't agree with the colonizers. When did he say that? We're talking about the people who control religion saying that here in America. So are you in America or are you in another country? Everyone has their own beliefs. Facts. Everybody has their own beliefs. And this is not to debate anyone's beliefs. They talking about imaginary God. This is not to debate your beliefs, my beliefs. I just know what I read. I'm born and raised in America. But you're Muslim, so I'm a Mary Indian, meaning I'm indigenous to this land. And we were given a religion by colonizers. So I don't know the history of your religion, but I just know the history of the religion that I just read, and I'm not fucking with it. Does he make chicken curry? Does who make chicken curry? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. What does chicken curry? See what I'm saying? Like ignorance. Oh. What are you talking about? Your husband. I'm Indian as well with no religion. Yeah, no religion. Why would you think my husband makes chicken curry? Like, I don't even eat chicken curry. I actually don't even like the smell of curry. But that's just me. Because he's Indian. Not that type of Indian. I'm not talking about, what is it, Buddhistan? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the American Indian. The indigenous, autochthonous, melanated Indians. So when you're a melanated Indian, there's a difference. India is too new. We're talking about the true Indian. This is why reading is important. It's fundamental. All right? So read critically, guys. Think independently. Don't let nobody, Hindustan Indian. That's what I meant to say. You're a Hindustan Indian. There is a difference. So that's why you got to go read your own history. I don't know nothing about your history. I'm not here to debate you about religion. I'm not here to debate nobody who don't look like me, because I already know you're trying to, convert me or something. You're trying to convert me, tell me about myself, all this stuff. No, thank you. Been there, done that. I'll pass. This is not one of those lives where you come in and you debate me and you no. This is one of the lives where we read what the colonizers said, and then we don't ignore it, we embed it. So no one can tell us who the hell we are. Right? Remember, knowledge makes me unfit to be a slave. I can't be your slave because your religion said this and you said, I don't care what you said. That's the problem that we've been having now. Too many people trying to tell us who we are. Them and Israel become states in 1948. Facts, but they don't know that. They don't know that you're a new word, Indian. You're trying to say, well, I'm Indian. I'm not talking about that type of Indian. I'm talking about the copper tone race, the indigenous, melanated, Niji, mound builders, whatever you want to call it. Those people. The inhabitants of America. Not the people who are immigrants. See, if you say you're Muslim, that means you're an immigrant. So we two different people. You feel me? That means you probably believe what colonizers say about me. So how can I listen to you and debate you when you believe that I'm probably less than you? Red clay boys. You probably believe that I'm a creature or something. I don't know. That's why I can't debate people. I'm not debating nothing. I'd rather read it for myself. There's no need for me to debate something I can read that I just read. How they thought about us. How they talk about us. They wanted to control our religious instructions. How can I debate you on that? Because you wouldn't have no idea where I'm coming from. You would have no idea about the South. You would have no idea about oppression. You would have no idea about the slave raiders. You would have no idea about Jim Crow. You would have no idea about none of this shit. So what we debating for? I don't know. But over here, it doesn't work. It doesn't work here. I'm not one of those who just like, oh, let's debate. No. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time, okay? So, yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. So, you're right. Everybody has different beliefs. And in this live, we definitely don't believe what you believe. All right? So tonight's discussion was about conditioning, identity, obedience, religion versus spirituality and independent thinking. All they have is watered down education studies. Facts. Watered down. So when I'm reading now this religious instructions to the Negro, this is not watered down. This is coming from the truth. This is what they said. This is how they think. And these are the sources that I will listen to, because it tells me that this group of people wanted to control my people so bad that they kept tabs on us about our religion, about our land. They wanted to do the Census Bureau. They wanted to control every part of us. There's no way I can allow you to tell me anything anymore. At all. All right? So we don't fall for that over here. So sending love to my Niji. Sending love to all the melanated beings around the world. Let's keep breaking these generational curses. Learning and rebuking anybody who try to come in your space and tell you who they are and tell you what they believe. And Go start your own life, please. Please. And thank you. Then you can debate over there. Because on the Hood to Hooded podcast, we don't debate pseudo-historians. We don't debate people who have their country formed in 1948, you said? Why? I'm talking about the 1800s right now. We not... You feel me? But anywho, I'm getting off of here, you guys. Thank y'all for joining this series of religious instructions to the Negroes. We are 1/3 of the way done with the book. Make sure you are subscribed, following, all of that stuff. And let's see. We got 256 hearts pumped today. We did not meet our 1K goal, but that's okay. Because I'm just happy that I'm getting through this book. So, OCO to my Niji. I'm getting off of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. Don't let the enemy tell you who you are. And I'll holla. See you later, BCU Des.